Hello everyone and welcome back to another Cheeky Beaks video. In today's video I want to talk to you about Indian ringneck permits. How, what, where, when, why, all of it. So Indian ringnecks are a very commonly kept species here in South Africa. However, you do need a permit to own them. Unfortunately, this law isn't well known because pet shops don't enforce it and the pet shops themselves aren't enforced by law to own the permits themselves. The reason this law is in place is because Indian ringnecks have escaped over the years through, lost pets or escaping breeder aviaries, and they have actually become an invasive species here in South Africa. In KZN and Gauteng, there are massive ringneck flocks, and I wish I had the video to include in this video, but I once saw a video in Centurion, just a massive ringneck flock, and it's like, you know how you've seen videos of like budgies flocking in Australia and there's just thousands of them? It looked just like that. And yes, obviously for most times, invasive species are not good for the environment. And so as a way to try and regulate the breeding and owning of these now invasive species, permits were introduced. These permits were introduced in 2014. So you're likely here because you want to adopt a ringneck and you want to know about the permits. So Cheeky Beaks does not charge an adoption fee for ringnecks. They're an invasive species. I'm not going to charge you for them. However, you do need to have this permit. So the permit itself is 100 Rand, and you might need to microchip your parrot, which is about 300 Rand. So you can consider it like a 400 Rand adoption fee. So obviously the money's not going to us, but think of it that way. So I have the forms here to explain to you, how to apply, because it can be a bit intimidating. I also, when I first saw it, I had questions. What do I fill in? What must I write where? So I'm here to help you. Okay, so you've got a bunch of notes on the front. Obviously, read all those. Okay, so on the second page, at the top, there's part A, and you're going to be applying for a new permit. Then you're going to be selecting B, which says having in possession or exercising physical control over any specimen of a listed invasive species. Complete part A, B, C, and E. So that was A. Then part B, this is where you're going to put in some of your personal information. Mine's all been redacted. Then part C, so you're going to put their scientific name, their common name, description, I just wrote Parrot, country of origin, South Africa, and then for quantity, so if you have a ringneck already and you're adopting another one, I suppose you could put 2, you apply. So it's one permit, but you're like listing every ringneck that you own. So yeah, that's what you'll do there. Then part E, again, just your personal details. Then part G has got the banking details, and specifically you need to use like the reference for fauna applications, fauna animals, so you have to do that. Like I said, it is 100 Rand for the permit, and the permit lasts 5 years. After those 5 years have elapsed, you can apply for a renewal. That's the renewal, and it's basically the same thing, just the renewal. Okay, yes, banking details. Then part H, approved permit, so collect or send it by post, so you can say receive it by post, put your address in again. Then part I, so this part you have to go to a police station because it says to be completed in the presence of a commissioner of oaths. So they'll ask you these 3 questions and you just say yes or no, and then they will sign and stamp off at the bottom. Okay, then there's the checklist, okay? So in one email that you're going to send to the to AIS, Alien Invasive Species, so you need attached a copy of the current permit, only if you're doing a renewal, attached a certified copy of your ID, attached your risk assessment report, I'm getting there, attached all required supporting documents where applicable, attached your proof of payment, and signed and dated application declaration from the Commissioner of Oaths. So those are all the things you must put in your email to them when you're applying. Okay, so then the risk assessment. So this is just a short little Word document that you type. You'll put your name, permit application for Indian ringnecks. I just put their like scientific breakdown, their scientific name and whatever. Then this is your risk assessment. So you'll say these are your birds that you're going to own, that you are not going to be breeding with, or I suppose if you are a breeder and you're also watching this video, same thing, you'll say that you'll be breeding, I suppose. And you'll say that whatever the situation is, so the birds will be kept indoors in cages, or the bird will be kept outdoor in an aviary. You say they will be clipped unless they are advised against for medical reasons, or I don't know, you'll say you'll only take your birds, yeah, that's what I said, the birds will not be taken outside unless secured in a cage. Yeah, that's your risk assessment. So this is the whole thing with the permits. Like I said, they're trying to regulate and make sure that, you know, this problem doesn't persist of invasive species. So this is just your little short thing of saying like how you're going to ensure that the bird is not going to escape. That's basically it. So yes, so you've got that Word document, your application, your proof of payment, sorry, the application document itself. Those are 4 things that you're going to email to them. The email address is on this form that you send it to. And yes, you email that away and that is your application done. Then they will email you back and they might arrange for like an in-person risk assessment, which is kind of like a home check, but you don't have to stress about it at all. They just like check that what you wrote on your risk assessment is the reality and what they see. And they might ask you to complete the document while they're on site. But yeah, so yes, that's it. It's no big deal really. We're just trying to share the information about this is the law, these are the processes that you have to do. It is not Cheeky Beaks saying you have to do this, this is the law. And we're just trying to make sure that people follow it. Side note, if you are a foster and you're applying for the permit to foster ringnecks, not necessarily if you own one yourself, please just send us a message, as there is just an extra step for that. But otherwise, it's all the same process. So I hope you found this video informative and helpful. Indian ringnecks are amazing pets, and as commonly owned as they are, they're also so overlooked. Just, you know, ringnecks are always in the top 3 commonly like seen parrots in our rescue. It's always African greys, budgies and ringnecks. Those are like the top 3 almost every year, and you know, it's disappointing because they're really great. They're a smaller size, which is less intimidating for like less experienced owners or just people who don't enjoy a painful bite. And they can be just as chatty and just as like intelligent as any other species, as chatty and intelligent as a grey as well, but unfortunately they are overlooked. So consider adopting a ringneck today. I can almost say for certain that we have one available near you.
Numpy. Spin. Numpy. Spin. Here we go. Numpy.
So thank you all so much for watching. Please see the links in the description. We do have a blog on this Indian ringnecks if you want a little bit more information, and there's also ways to donate, ways you can shop our merch and more. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye!